Today, we're going to be going over the hardest item to unlock in every Call of Duty. Some of these are absolutely insane grinds. Let's dive in. We're starting this off in Call of Duty 4, and I'm just going to be honest with you. The first two Call of Duties here don't have the most insane things to grind for, but this one was kind of annoying back in the day. If you didn't know, COD 4 was the first Call of Duty to introduce us to the camo grind. Now, the only camo that you could really unlock was the gold camo, and that's if you completed all the challenges for that specific category of gun, aka the AR, the SMG, etc. Now, I am actually going to go with the sniper, and the sniper that you got gold in this game was the gold Dragunov. So again, you had to complete all the sniper challenges to get this gold Dragunov, and if I remember correctly, that gun was pretty bad. So if you're flexing this thing, you went above and beyond and got these done, and hey, you got a gold Dragunov because of it. Next up, we have World at War, and in COD 4, that game actually introduced something else new besides the gold camos, and that was something called prestiging. Obviously, you reach a certain level. Now, in World at War, it was level 65. Now, once you got to 65, you could prestige, and you could do it 10 times back in the day. So, honestly, I think the biggest flex in this game is a 10th prestige 65 level. It was a pretty cool icon, and if there's something else you can think of, tell me, because this was it. Now we have Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 2 introduced one of the most iconic kill streaks into the Call of Duty franchise, and that was the tactical nuke. Now, obviously, many of you know this was 25 kills in a row. Now, you could get it through gun kills, or you could use your streaks and guns mixed, as long as you got 25 kills in a row without dying. Now, I'm going to admit it, I never got one of these back in the day. If you follow the channel, I just got my first one like a week ago. It was very, very tough, in my opinion, to get the nuke. Well, Infinity Ward thought, hey, let's give some rewards to people that actually get nukes. So, if you got 5 nukes, you would actually get this calling card right here, and that was called End of the Line. Now, that's not it. They also rewarded you for getting 10 nukes. And if you did 10 nukes, you have probably seen this in some of your lobbies. This is the spinning nuke emblem. I wish I had this, but it might take me the rest of my life to get 10 nukes. If you have this, respect. Next up, we have BO1, and this is actually taking us back to the camo grind, but BO1 did it a lot different, and this is a lot more difficult. So gold camo was actually in Black Ops 1, but let me explain to you how it worked and how you could get it. Now, back then, there was something called COD points, and no, we're not talking about the COD points of today. It was pretty much a system that allowed you to unlock certain things as you got to the level. Like, for example, if you got to level like 30, you would get the FAMAS, but you'd have to go and then buy it with your COD points that you earned for playing the game, completing challenges, etc. Well, gold camo, to get it, you needed to reach prestige 14. That was almost the last prestige. I believe there was 15 prestiges in Black Ops 1. So you almost had to be a max prestige just for the ability to unlock it. Now, spoiler alert, like I just said earlier, you have to then buy stuff once you unlock it. So it became unlocked at prestige 14, but you still had to use them COD points. And the gold camo for BO1 cost 50,000 COD points. Yeah, that's a lot of COD points. Now, let me just do some math for you real quick. I think my math is correct. I think there was about 35 guns in BO1. If you times 35 times 50,000 COD points, it'll just cost you 1,750,000 COD points to get gold on all your guns. Seems easy enough. I think there still might be people unlocking gold in this game for every gun. That's insane. So in Modern Warfare 3, I think this is kind of a trolly one, but it actually is super difficult. Just like in MW2, there was emblems, there was calling cards, etc., etc. But this time, this one involves an LMG. Now, this is the dictator emblem. And how you got the dictator emblem was you had to fire an entire LMG mag into the enemy without missing. So if you hit every single bullet, you would get rewarded with this emblem. If you miss one, with that thing firing all over the place, no emblem. I don't know if I ever got this. Black Ops 2. Now, you guys remember the nuke in Modern Warfare 2. Now, Black Ops 2, Treyarch, they never really dove into the nuke kill streaks in the older Call of Duties. Now, obviously, now we know that they'd have in the newer ones, but back then, it was more medals. Now, this medal is called Nuked Out. Now it seems easy. You're going to yourself, oh, that's probably just 25 kills on BO2. Pretty simple. Maybe easier to do it in BO2 because of the streak system than in Modern Warfare 2. No, to get this emblem here, or this calling card, you needed to get 30 kills on free-for-all without dying. Now, let me just give you a quick reminder if you don't play free-for-all very often. To win a free-for-all match, you need to get 30 kills. So, this is a flawless free-for-all in Black Ops 2. No dying, and also, just another thing, no streaks allowed. Only guns. Good luck with that one. Next up, we have Call of Duty Ghosts, and we're kind of going back to the emblems in this one. Now, I know it wasn't emblems in Call of Duty Ghosts. The proper term is a patch, and the patch that we're going to be talking about in this one is No Place to Hide. Now, this is kind of a funny one, because the streaks in this game were not very good, but there was one that I actually did enjoy and is involving this one. It's the Maniac. You throw down a little care package, it drops in, you can access the care package, it has a Maniac. You have your knife, you're kind of like a juggernaut pretty much. You have your armor and you can kind of take more hits. Now this, to get this patch, you had to get 6 kills with the Maniac. Sounds easy. Wait a second, there's a fine line on this one. You have to kill 6 different enemies. So if you're playing TDM, you have to kill everybody on the team without dying. The health on this thing was not the greatest. And also you kind of have to strategize who you're killing. You got to pay attention to who you killed and kind of keep track in your head. Like, okay, I think I got that guy. Now I got that guy. Now I got to get the other 4. I wouldn't say it's the hardest, but it's like the most brain power and time consuming, because you got to unlock the streak first. You got to get the streak in the game, and then you got to realize that you got to get all 6 individually. I don't know, maybe this might be the hardest one so far, actually. Now we have entered into the jetpack era, and we are going to be looking at a certain skin in this game. And no, it cannot be unlocked through supply drops. I wouldn't do that to you guys. Now, in the beginning of this game, like most Call of Duties, we have prestiges, and this game started out with 15 prestiges. Everybody enjoyed it. Well, if you enjoyed jetpacks, they enjoyed it. But as the game evolved, people got to 15 kind of quick, which is surprising. I guess their leveling up system was a little bit quicker than most Call of Duties. And the fans kind of were saying, hey, can we get more prestiges? Can we get more prestiges? And believe it or not, Sledgehammer listened and dropped another 15 prestiges. So at the end of this game's life cycle, there was 30 prestiges for this game. Also in Sledgehammer fashion, they seem to always treat us right. If you got to level 30 in the 30th prestige, you would get the Grand Master Prestige skin. Yes, it's that big purple skin that you see probably every once in a while, but to me, even when you go in, it's pretty rare to find these. And if you had this in your lobby, I don't know if it's a flex or you need to go touch grass. It's one of the two. I kind of think it's a little bit of a flex because I like the purple. I'm not going to lie. Did you get this? Anybody get this? Now we are on to the second jetpack Call of Duty, and that is Black Ops 3. Now, in previous Call of Duties before this, there was a camo grind, and it definitely was something that a lot of people were interested in. But this one was the first one where I feel like people enjoyed it, but was also like, wow, that was an insane grind. And that was the ability to unlock dark matter. Nowadays, this isn't as crazy because a lot of these challenges are very similar to what was introduced back then, but you gotta think, we went from getting just about pretty much only headshots. That's how you got camos back in the day, only headshots. And then Black Ops 3 introduced this system where you had to get headshots, you had to get long shots, you had to get double kills, you had to get bloodthirsties. Again, it sounds familiar now. Back then, it was insane. And it was all very rewarding because of that camo you got. I mean, Dark Matter Black Ops 3 is probably one of the best looking camos of all time. So also Black Ops 3 is such a good Call of Duty. That's a side note, but for another day. Now we have our last jetpack Call of Duty, and it's Infinite Warfare. And this game, if you didn't know, was made by Infinity Ward. These are the same people that made MW2 and MW3. And we're going to do a little bit of callback to MW2. Infinite Warfare gave us a nuclear calling card, and it was animated, as you can see on your screen here, and it only required you to get 1 nuke. So you're going, T, wait a second, that's actually not that bad. What are you talking about? Well, Infinite Warfare was in the era of supply drops and weapon variants, and so this game had their nuke streak, aka the deatomizer streak. You could only use it and only could get it if you had a gun variant that allowed you to get a nuke on it. So The most notable one that I can think of was an NV4 that gave you the ability to get the nuke. So you would get a kill with that gun and you would see it in the middle of your screen. It would go 24 kills till a nuke, 23 kills to a nuke, 22 kills to a nuke. So the only way you could get this nuclear emblem is if you had a variant of a gun, and then on top of it, you got a 30 gun streak, I believe is what it was. At the same time, you had to play Infinite Warfare long enough to even get both of these. So there's a lot working against you. Most people were playing COD 4 Remastered. Now we are on to Call of Duty World War II. We are back to boots on the ground. We are back to the classic World War II, and we are also back to camo grinding. And this made you sink some serious hours into multiplayer. What you're looking at in front of you is the Royalty Tiger camo. Now, all you had to do to get access to this bad boy was hit Master Prestige, aka level 1000. So that's simple enough, but actually no, once you got there, you actually had to get every single weapon class diamond. So there was a bunch of challenges for camos, headshots, kills, all that stuff. And once you got diamond for all the classes and level 1000 Master Prestige, Royalty Tiger is yours. I never got even close. I never got close. Now we're on to Black Ops 4. And now this was the time of the Battle Royale craze. And Call of Duty, of course, needed to get in there, dip their toes in it. And if you didn't know, this was when they released their very first Battle Royale called Blackout. Now in Blackout, they had all the things that you can think of. They had dances, they had emblems, they had sprays, and they also had skins. Now you of course can unlock skins from buying them in the store. You can unlock them in supply drops at the time, in the season pass, the typical fashion. But there was a character that you could unlock by playing the game. They just made it very, very difficult. This is Victor Resnov. You probably know him if you played any of the campaigns back in the day, the Black Ops and World at War campaign. He was very difficult to get, okay? Very difficult to get. Now, how you did it was, there's a little bit of RNG involved in the beginning. His hat was randomly in the map, just somewhere. You could literally pick up a thing called Resnov's hat. And once you picked up the hat, that was not the end of it, by the way. That was when it was just getting started. Once you had the hat, you then had to get a 200-meter kill. Yes, 200-meter kill. And that's not all, folks. After you get the 200-meter kill, you would then have to win the match as well. I don't have the Resnov character. You probably don't either. Now we have Modern Warfare 19. I'm gonna do 2 on this one. Don't tell anybody, guys. Don't cancel me for making this video and doing 2 in one game, but I'm going with the camo unlock system as a whole. Now, I know we talked about BO3 kind of being an insane grind back in the day, and World War II was kind of an insane grind, but Modern Warfare 19, I felt like just stepped it up in levels of difficulty and grind that we've never seen before. Now, obviously, Damascus is the one that everybody kind of talks about in this game. I personally really like Damascus camo. I never got it because it was such a grind. That, of course, is getting gold unlocked in every gun class and then unlocking platinum in every gun class. That's an insane grind alone, but they actually added one more completionist camo in this game, and it was called Obsidian. Now, I do not believe you had to have Damascus to get Obsidian, but you did, I believe, have to have platinum and gold done. And once you got those done, let me read you this challenge on how to get this. You needed to get 15 kills in 100 matches. That is not 15 kills in 100 matches and then you unlock it for that entire category of gun. That's you getting 15 kills in 100 matches with the MP5. Then you get 1 camo for the MP5, the Obsidian camo. They went through extreme lengths. I think that there was people doing this camo grind like legitimately a year after this game came out, which now the camo grind takes people 30 days. Maybe this was for the better. Now we move on to Cold War, and Cold War actually brought something that I think is really cool, the introduction of Dark Ops challenges. Now, every single one of these challenges that you had to do actually rewarded you with a calling card once you finished it. And I think some of these were very, very difficult. One of them was a nuclear medal. One of them was a mega kill. One of them was throwing a grenade back at the person who threw the grenade at you. All stuff that took a bunch of time, a lot of effort. But once you got all of them done, you actually got rewarded with the final calling card. and it was Dark Ops Master. This is what the calling card looked like. So it was an important thing back in Cold War. Again, it was something to grind for and difficult. Now we have everybody's favorite Call of Duty Vanguard. Now I kind of went back and forth with this one. I think it was the Dark Aether camo. Now the reason I think this, and call me crazy if you want, you have to finish every camo challenge for every single gun. Now that's the typical grind. You have to get a ton of kills, a ton of headshots, and the special kills, etc., etc. But the funny thing about this game was the zombies was some of the worst in the franchise. So the people that actually grinded these zombies challenges with the weapons, there was a lot of weapons in Vanguard too, by the way. So they were grinding all these weapons and all these challenges in possibly the worst zombies mode of all time. I gotta tip the cap, man. Next up, we are in Modern Warfare 2, and I'm actually gonna be going into Warzone for this one because I think despite this game not being my favorite, they did this section of the game very, very well. It was very well done, and this was the nuke skin. Now, many of you have probably known about this, know about it, but there ain't no way some of you guys got it. So first of all, there's a 4-step process on how to get this bad boy. The first one, just to get access to the nuke contract, you have to win 5 consecutive matches. Now, once you do that, you're going to see this contract pop up. It's called the Champion's Quest. And once you get that, that's going to be giving you certain tasks that you have to kind of complete. That is when you trigger the nuke. Now, on top of triggering the nuke, people could then come and defuse the nuke. And on top of that, the entire lobby knew that you were calling in the nuke with like a location where they were like, hey, push this guy, he's calling in the nuke. So not only is it you got to win 5 matches in a row, you have to do all these things after it, on top of people knowing that you're doing it. I mean, the only person I can really think of that did it a ton was Bobby Paul. That guy was an animal with this thing. Good for them, man. Now we're on to Modern Warfare 3, and this bad boy, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little underwhelming, but boy, oh boy, was it a bit of a grind. Now, Modern Warfare 3 had prestiging. Now, it's not in the way of the OG Call of Duties, the good way, like BO6 did it. It's kind of like that seasonal prestige. I don't really even know how to explain it, but either way, they did do something nice. Now, for every few prestiges, Sledgehammer decided to give us a weapon blueprint. So every 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, if you didn't know, Modern Warfare 3 went up to 25 prestiges. And then once you got to the 25th prestige, you had to get all the way to level 1,250. And once you got to 1,250, you unlocked the Wicked Knight weapon blueprint. And the thing you're looking at in front of you, that's it. It's a black and gray weapon with a bat on it. Yeah, that's a little underwhelming, but boy, oh boy, is it a grind. Now, finally, we are on to Black Ops 6. And this one could be the hardest to get, and also now probably one of the rarest. In Season 1, we were introduced to something called ranked play. Now, ranked play, if you're unfamiliar, is the competitive side of Call of Duty where you play hardpoint and you play search and you play, what's the last game mode? I can't even remember right now, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Control, that's what it was. The game mode sucks so bad, I forgot about it. But they introduced rewards for playing this game mode. So if you were in the top 500, or they go by emblems, iridescent, silver, gold, blah, 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 you would get little rewards. But there was one reward that only one person could get. And that was if you got the #1 rank in the entire season. And this was rewarded to actually a former Call of Duty pro. His name is Cold Havoc. He makes Call of Duty content more on the competitive side of things. And he is the only one in the world with this skin. Now, the reason is, I don't know if they brought this back. From what I've researched, from what I know from playing the game, it's never made a comeback. So one of these in the world, and Cold Havoc's got it. And there you have it, folks. That is the hardest thing to unlock in every single Call of Duty. Now, I need you to be honest with me, guys. How many of you have grinded some of these things on this list? I actually tipped the cap because I was looking at this list. I don't know if I have one thing. I'm going to be completely honest. Maybe the gold Dragunov I have, and the 10th prestige in World at War. That's like 15 years ago, so I don't know if that's much of a flex. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you want to watch another video, go click over there. We'll see you in the next one.